Welcome back to Pinot Lake Championship Disc Golf Course in Watsonville, California. This is round 2 coverage of the 2024 Pro Weekend Masters Cup Chase Card, brought to you by Top World Disc Golf. I'm Keenan Dalton of Top World, joined again by Paavo Stubstad. Let's get into it. Starting off part 2, this is hole 11, par 5, 1,288 feet. There's OB stakes on the left and right, and then there is OB long once you eventually get down to the basket. You don't have to really worry about that until your third or fourth shot for most of these guys. We call this hole the landing strip because it's just a straight runway, kind of like an airplane strip.
And starting us off here, we're going to see some more bonus coverage of third card. Here's Manny Torres. Big wide spike hyzer in the fairway. That's all you want on this hole.
Jacob Blair up next.
He's trying to get some more distance. Is that too far right? Nope. We got a green flag. He is safe.
This hole sponsored by Strong John. That's my buddy.
Hit a post.
And that one is definitely OB. All right, 3 shots in the fairway, 1 OB. Here is that third shot from the player who went OB. My apologies, I'm forgetting the names of some of the players on this third card. Keenan, you know who it is.
Yeah, Owen Forrest there. Not as
OB again, unfortunately.
Yeah, not a great first or second shot. This is more what you want. Get it up to the crest of the hill. See how far Manny can smash his second shot.
Great.
And Jacob Blair up next.
Thank you.
Jacob's third shot.
Turns out 1,288 feet is a pretty long way. And that's all the third card coverage we get, because now Catchcam had to get in position for chase card here.
Trent Somerville up first. Keeps it in bounds. Good skip, good distance. And Andrew Miranda up next.
Another good shot right to the spotter. I like how he waved the green flag from behind his back there.
Chandler taking a lower line. This has the potential to skip.
Oh, and it does. OB for Chandler.
Like Ian Anderson would say, like a tired kangaroo, that disc is out of bounds.
One of my favorite Ian Anderson puns.
And Tim Denna getting his Halo Star Destroyer right up to catch cam.
Another hyzer shot from Trent. Stays safe.
Here's where Chandler's disc went out of bounds. So this was his third shot, which is also getting towards the right side OB.
Fading back, though. Can he make it? Oh, yeah, he's good.
Second shot from Andrew, very high.
Well, stay safe though.
And last throw after the big drive, Tim. Gets a lot of turn out of it. Hopefully comes back.
It's trying. Man, a lot of players really flirting with that OB line on this hole. He knows how close he was. Great shot, though. Trent just throwing another hyzer.
Yeah, so that was his third shot, so that one will be for birdie. Long birdie look. Can be a little tricky throwing these shots in the field because with the grass being recently mowed, there's a lot of dead grass still out there, so it can be a little slippery.
Yeah, I saw Andrew contending with some of that on his run up there. Little clusters of mowed grass.
And that's
Decent shot there from Chandler.
yeah, his fourth shot because of the OB. So we'll have that for par. And this is Tim's third shot.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like he didn't have much left there, maybe 200, 250, because he bit off so much on his first two shots. Nice to have that distance. A little low from Trent.
He's going to have the tap in par, which isn't too bad on this hole.
Chandler.
Andrew for par, his putting woes continue.
Oh, no. That's too bad. Tim played the hole so well until the green.
Were there any birdies on this one today, Paavo?
Oh, good. Good call. Getting me to look at my stats like I'm supposed to. Yes, there were two birdies. Manny Torres ended up getting it. We saw his first couple shots on third card, and then also Isaiah Morgan. But yeah, only two birdies. I mean, it's a long ways, and OB the whole way makes sense. Averaged 5.71. Closer to a 6 than a 5 as far as scoring average.
Yeah, and headed into hole 12. This is a pretty tough basket position to access as well. Probably the most scenic hole on the course because you really get close up to the Pinot Lake. So the drone here is flying the preferred route. It's just a backhand underneath these oak trees, kind of low ceiling once you get down closer to the basket. And preferably you get a little skip off this walking path to give yourself a look at birdie.
Looks pretty tricky. Very scenic though, like you were saying. Look at that. Beautiful behind the basket.
Trent up first. Good line, just a little
bit
low.
low. Yep. Andy, same thing.
Tim's definitely got the distance to get there. See how he does here.
Needs a little fade. Come on.
He's bringing that OB right a little bit into play. There are wooden stakes down over there, but it looks like he stayed in bounds. But birdie probably out of the equation.
Good looking shot from Chandler, fading perhaps a tiny bit early, but he's there with a look at a birdie.
Andrew's second shot, just trying to put it close, have the easy par. Well done.
Yep, same thing for Trent. Now this hole averaged 3.49, half a stroke, almost half a stroke over par. So it's a tricky one. Par is fine on this hole. And Chandler, the only person on our card with a birdie look, a long one, but it's a look. Oh, he tried. Low ceiling. That's too bad. Chandler coming back for a par. Keenan, you want to guess how many birdies you think there were on this hole for the day?
I'm going to guess 3.
It's a good guess. Only 1. Kind of surprising. I would have guessed 3 to 5 myself, but looking at the stats here, Jacob Tupper was the only birdie of the day on hole 12.
It's a good one to get.
Just a round of pars from our chase card here, and we move on to hole 13.
Yeah, hole 13, 496 feet, OB stakes on the left and right, big oak trees, miss in the middle, very grabby, easily could get 2-metered if you go into those. This one is a very difficult par 3, borderline par 4, we're flying over the longer pin position just now. Yeah, just keep it in bounds and gotta put some distance on it to get down there. Trent up first.
Nice high hyzer, flipping up a little bit, getting good distance. I don't think he got around that tree. Let's see if Andrew Miranda can do it. Similar looking line to Trent, not quite as wide. He does get around that oak tree, and he's up on the crest of the hill. Definitely a super bonus birdie here. Tim, I think, has the arm to get there, but he turned that over too much, and I think that might be OB.
Yeah, Chandler to a similar area, but he stays in bounds. Here's Trent's second shot. Maybe give it a chance.
Oh, yeah, it looks like he tried. Oh, Andy tried to give it a bit as well.
Yeah, Tim's drive was out of bounds, and it was pretty difficult to locate, but finally got it. He's going to place it back here because with the new rule, you can go back along the line of play after an OB. So that is nice.
Veteran play right there, giving himself a better angle to approach the green. Looks like he's going to save his bogey. And Chandler is there for a par. He was flirting with the OB on his drive, but like you said, Keenan, he did stay safe, so that'll be a par coming up.
Here's Andrew for par as well.
Good putt. And as the players are tapping out for pars here and one bogey, I'll mention that this hole averaged 3.56, very difficult, and there were 0 birdies on the day. Very tough par 3.
Tim kind of has a little tricky bogey putt.
Oh, he's got it.
Easy for these guys. All right, that's the last hole in the field. We're going back into the woods. Little hike to get down to hole 14. Par 4 through the eucalyptus walking trail. No OB on this one, but there's natural OB. If you kick left, you have a very difficult shot, and if you kick right, same thing. First shot, you just want to put yourself in the middle. Anywhere here or further up is great. That'll give you a chance at birdie. Just want to give yourself 2 good shots to give yourself a birdie on this one. Preferred play is probably a backhand off the tee, just because it fades into the hillside. That's going to give you a better look on your second shot. Third card check-in. Let's see how Manny navigates these fairways.
Yeah, Manny. Good shot, Manny.
This is about as good as you can do on this hole.
Oh, yeah. Hold.
That looks good too.
Yeah.
Nice drive from Owen as well, and gets a nice little slide on the walking path.
Ooh, that's wow. He got through early release, but he's on the other side. How about that?
Great second shot as well. That'll be a birdie. Here's Owen's second shot. Manny, after a great drive, he kind of has a little look for eagle. Easy birdie. Jacob, also a great drive. He's going to have an easy birdie as well.
Nice putt out of the semi-rough there. Manny with the upside down driver tap in.
Back to chase card. Trent up first.
A little too high. Nope, not too high. I lied. That's great. Get a little anti-skip. Yep, there it is. A little roll. Should be in a good position. Oh, way early release there for Andy and a bad kick. Any OB down there to the right, Keenan, or just bad rough?
There is the lake if you get far enough, but it's very difficult with the amount of trees, so it is natural OB. He's going to have a really tough up and down. Might as well be a pitch out from where Andy is. And Tim up lastly.
Oh, good kick. Right back to the fairway. Distance-wise, this is a shorter par 4, so you could really play it any way you want. I mean, you could just throw a putter a couple hundred feet off the tee and try to go bigger on your second shot. And like you said, Andy basically forced to pitch out, playing for par at this point.
There's Tim's second shot after the fortunate tree kick. A little short. Should still have a birdie putt, but it's kind of low ceiling from under that oak tree. Chase card gallery's growing. Love to see that out here.
Yeah, great upshot from Andy there. Looks like he's going to save that par.
Chandler's second shot.
Beautiful. A long birdie look here For Tim, nope, a little bit low. This hole did average significantly under par at a 3.62, but pretty impossible to reach, really. It would take a crazy good drive and probably a really big putt as well to get an eagle. There were no eagles on the day.
Hole 15, 171-foot par 3. Lots of rollaway potential here, but also the possibility of an ace. Let's see if these guys give it a chance.
Hope they do at 171 feet. That's a short hole for anyone, especially for pros. Tall grass, though. No ground play on this fairway. Perfect shot from Chandler. Not trying to mess with an ace run, just parking it for birdie like a true professional. A little early low from Andy. Tim going to show us the forehand line. Matching the slope of the hill as he comes in.
Well done.
Reducing the chance of a rollaway. Well done.
Here's Andy's second shot. Looks like he's going to run it.
Yeah, good putt. Good catch by the basket as well. Great birdie. Another great putt there from Trent. Don't forget the bag.
Yeah, Trent putting together a solid round, currently at 6 under par. For the round, at least. 14 under par overall.
Yeah, leading the way here on our chase card. And that is a star frame, as you would expect on this hole, but a couple of big putts made it possible this time.
Yeah, on to hole 16. Another very birdieable hole if you can make the gap. 170 feet. Kind of a poke and pray. Just get it through these oak trees. There is the over-the-top route, but that kind of brings into play the rollaway potential, and then the OB on the right side, which is marked by the wooden post there.
Yeah, the over-the-top play, I'm sure, brings in the 2-meter potential as well with all these grabby oak trees. I mean, this hole may be short, but it's an incredibly tight line. I'm surprised looking at the stats here that where are we? Hole 16. Yeah, this hole averaged 3.09. A 170-foot hole averaging over par for a field of professional disc golfers. That tells you it's pretty difficult despite being short.
Andy throwing his putter, but just doesn't really get it in the air. And kind of a fortunate roll to get back in the middle.
Well, that's one way to get there. Probably not the intended way, but it works.
Andy putting from the old outhouse toilet.
Hits a tree on the putt. Lot of trees. Chandler jump putt. No good. Yeah, most of the time you hear players talk about, holes this short, a par feels like a bogey. But on this hole, it really shouldn't. A bogey will feel like a bogey, though. Unfortunately.
Tim for birdie.
Nice. Good birdie. And a good birdie from Trent. Ooh, tried to spit out on Chandler there. Good putt, though. He's in.
All right, on to hole 17. This is the long position on this hole, 375 feet. Not too much to worry about. It does slope off pretty extreme on the right side, so you want to keep it straight for the first 75-80% of the fairway. You can aim for this little sandbox on the left side that we're passing, and you want it to be landing gently right there just to skip up and give yourself a putt.
I think there's another pin placement in that so-called sandbox area, right?
Yes. Yeah, that would be the short position on this hole.
Okay. I have seen that before. I had not seen this deeper pin before. Tricky green down the hill. More bonus third card coverage. Watching Manny Torres tee off.
Check up.
Couple of forehands as well.
Yeah, I like the forehand line on this hole because if you aim for that sandbox and just throw it right a little bit past it, that'll give you a good look. And obviously 3 out of 4 of these guys like that line as well. So if you have it, it's a good play.
Looks like the higher percentage play for sure.
There's where Manny's drive landed, kind of tough birdie putt, so he's just going to take the par.
Someone pitching out there. Last chance for a birdie here on the third card. And looks like it's going to be a round of pars for them.
Back to chase card. Trent up next.
I feel like we've been saying that a lot on this back 10. Perhaps every hole. I think he's had the tee the whole time. That's a little early right. See if he can save par from there. Tim going for that forehand. Hoping for a little skip. I'm not sure if he got down there. Oh, I guess he must have.
Yeah, saved by the tree. Hits it. He's parked.
Little early right there for Chandler. Trying to make the backhand work. It almost did. Similar line for Andy. This looks a little better, though. Keep going. Oh, almost.
Scramble time for Trent. Nicely done.
Uh-oh. Sit down.
Oh, no.
Sit down. Well, it might not be Daylaw, but it's still Masters Cup, so we're going to call that getting Daylawed. So close for Andy. Good try.
Yeah, runs his birdie putt, and he's kind of going to have a tough comeback putt for par.
And Chandler missing his comebacker for par. Nice. Great putt, Andy. Saving the par there. This hole averaged 3.44 and only had 6 birdies on the day. It's a tricky one. I got to imagine a lot of that is because of this green. Yeah, bogey save for Chandler. Honestly, a great save. That could have easily turned into a double. It looked like a tricky putt over there.
And Tim last to putt after a phenomenal drive.
Is he one of the 6 birdies on the day? Yes, he is. Great job, Tim.
Yeah, so Tim will take the box heading into hole 18. The drone here is flying the preferred route. It's going to be this big backhand hyzer. This hole is a par 4, 409 feet. The OB on the right side, marked by the stakes. You want to land your drive anywhere in here to give yourself a look at birdie. And an eagle is definitely not out of the equation on this hole because it is shorter for a par 4.
Yeah, I got to say, Keenan, I kind of disagree with the par on this one. I mean, we've seen par 3s earlier in this round that were almost 100 feet longer than this. This hole averaged 3.28, so that is definitely much closer to a par 3 than a par 4.
A good drive from Tim, and it just rolling towards the OB stakes.
Oh, no, he's OB down there. But, I mean, even that, like, if he didn't roll, he would have been putting for eagle on a spike hyzer tee shot.
Yeah, and he can still save par pretty easily from there.
Yeah.
Maybe even throw it in for birdie.
Yeah, I gotta say, my 2 cents for next year, call this a par 3. This isn't. It's a tough par 3, but it's no par 4. Man, bad roll away there for Trent as well. That's unfortunate. Oh, this is a good looking line from Andy. Getting left enough that I don't think he'll be messing with the roll away. Yep. And he'll have a putt for eagle. Death putt, but a putt for eagle nonetheless.
Chandler with a similar line right there on the walking path.
Yep. A couple putts for eagle coming up for 2 of our players, and the other 2 trying to save par. So this is interesting here. We see Tim take his relief in the direction he thought would be most beneficial. Then he kind of reevaluates and decides to take his relief at a slightly different angle. I think it mainly had to do with his back foot there, the OB stake being in the way for his stance is why he changed his relief direction there. Good upshot. Looks like he's going to save the par. Trent's looking at pretty much the same exact shot, and he is also going to save the par.
Chandler for eagle.
Here it is. Ah.
Maybe Andy can get our first eagle.
Oh, so close. And Andy does save the birdie, so it looks like we're going to have a couple birdies, couple pars. There were 2 eagles on the day from Isaiah Morgan and Ross Sauceda. Well played, guys. And, you know, only 63 birdies on the day. Looks like roughly 75% of the field. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, easy birdies for Andrew and Chandler after those drives, and easy pars for Trent and Tim even after the OB.
Yeah, but I mean, on this one, a par is losing strokes to the field, given that it averaged 3.28, so they're probably not too happy with those pars. Moving on to hole 19.
Yeah, this is another short hole, only 161 feet. No OB either, but you gotta miss these eucalyptus trees. The drone is flying through a tricky route. Sometimes you can throw the backhand through a gap on the right and just have it fade towards the basket for an easy birdie, or you can hit below the basket on the hillside and try and skid up to it.
Yeah, that gap that Andy's aiming for looks like the ideal line to me. Kind of less trees to contend with on that line than any other. Chandler aiming for the same line, but high release, and he's going to be down at the bottom of the ravine. It can be tricky down there.
Oh, a little roll away from Tim. Uh-oh.
Little roll away turned into a bigger roll away. Getting Daylod at Pinto Lake.
Smooth putter throw from Trent. That'll give him a circle one putt.
What's that rubber blend, man?
He's probably hoping for a little ground play coming up the hill there. Too bad he didn't get it.
Yeah, he said he threw a rubber blend, so I guess maybe the softer plastic just gripped a little bit more. Here's Tim's second shot.
Laying out.
From one poison oak bush to another.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first camera angle we saw of him, that was your angle, I think, Keenan. You were just standing in the poison oak to get the shot. That's dedication.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, good birdie there from Trent. Chandler saves the par. Andy with the birdie. And Tim with the par. Short hole, very short, the shortest on the course, I'm pretty sure. Average 2.7 though, not as far under par as you would expect for a hole that short.
And on to the last hole of the round, hole 20. Pretty tough par 3 with OB very tight to the left side. It's also on the right and long. You want to just place your drive somewhere up here to give yourself a look at birdie. It's going to be a big sidearm or a backhand turnover line. Let's see what these guys go for.
Hey, fun round. Good meeting you.
Gotta get the fist bumps.
Love a cameraman
Hey.
fist bump too.
Love it. Andrew Miranda up first.
Little
Going for the
high.
backhand turnover line. Oh,
Finds that OB left.
looks better from Trent. Still a bit high, but getting through so far. Oh, no, that fades out into the OB.
Yeah, he's in two's fairway. That doesn't happen very often, but a good drive, but just didn't hit anything, and may have a look to save par.
Yeah, Chandler, center fairway. Very tough finishing hole here, averaging 3.52. About a quarter of a stroke harder than the so-called par 4, hole 18.
Here's Andy's third shot after the OB first.
That looked great.
And
Hopefully he saves his bogey.
Tim's second shot.
Oh no. And that kicks out of bounds. He's going to have work left to do to save a double. Well, I suppose not really. He's got a long look to save the single, most likely a double coming up for Tim. Tough way to finish. Come on. Oh, almost saved the single bogey.
Chandler for birdie.
Oh, good bid. Yeah, this one's a bonus birdie for sure. Lots of trees, lots of OB, and this is unfortunate. After that great drive for Trent, they determined he crossed OB right here behind this massive eucalyptus. Ooh, almost throws in the little forehand putt from 25 feet. Andy tapping in for bogey. Chandler coming back for par. And the unfortunate double to finish there for Tim. And going to be, what, a single bogey, I think, coming up for Trent.
Yeah, Trent played really well all round, so it's sad to see the bogey on the final hole, but
Tough hole, though. Only 5 birdies on the day on that last hole.
yeah, looking at our top 10 after round 2, Trent played well enough to make it on the lead card final round, and for final round we got a sweet chase card, so make sure to tune back in to Top World Disc Golf for your round 3 coverage of the 2024 Masters Cup chase card. We'll see you there.
Which will be back at De La Viega. Excited to see some more De La as well. Thanks for joining us.